This is the monster. This is exactly our worst nightmare that we prepare against.
This is Hassan Shibli, Florida Director of CARE, or Council on American Islamic Relations. This is how he and some of his friends found out about the mass shooting in Christchurch.
I gotta do another alert. Hey, assalamu alaikum everyone on Instagram. Just saw the most horrific video ever. We need to stand proud, not be afraid, stand strong, and continue to challenge the kind of Islamophobia that led to that horrific attack. Assalamu alaikum.
What went through your mind when you heard about the shooting or when you saw the video?
It was unbelievable. It was, I think, extreme anger that, you see these people who are gathered in a house of worship to worship their creator, and this monster just gunning them down. But they had no chance. I felt a little bit powerless, honestly.
As the executive director of CARE Florida, what is your response to this?
We will encourage the community. Number one, take action, not to be victims. Next, let's consider people considering arming themselves if they need to protect themselves. There's a reason why I carry a firearm, and that's something that I think we're gonna have to continue considering as a means of protection.
Why are you carrying a gun right now?
What you saw in New Zealand is exactly why I started carrying a gun in June 2016 when Trump was running for office and saying that Islam hates us. Later saying he wants to shut down Muslims from entering the country. Then we're starting to get all these death threats. In Florida, we've had several mosques arsoned. We've had people attacked in the streets. If somebody's willing to firebomb a mosque or physically assault a worshiper walking to a mosque because they hate them because of their religion, they're only one step away from, God forbid, picking up a firearm and trying to cause some real carnage. What we need to do is stand strong, encourage our community to be resilient, to be steadfast, to be courageous, to not be intimidated by those who wish to do us evil, to challenge Islamophobia. This is what Islamophobia leads to.
But are you concerned about young Muslim males in your community who are, because of what's going on, because of the rhetoric by the Trump administration, because of the shooting in New Zealand, that they are going to have more extremist tendencies?
I'm not concerned that this is going to inspire, your average Muslim kid to become extremist. From my experience within the Muslim community, people tend to get scared after such an attack. And if anything, unfortunately, it has the effect of, okay, hide your faith, hide your identity. It doesn't really lead to, and I think
it doesn't embolden them sometimes.
I think it is a sexy talking point to get the support of the right wing and the conservatives. For me to get their support, I can go on camera and say, listen, I think these attacks that target the Muslim community, they can potentially radicalize young Muslims to become violent, and therefore we need to stop these attacks so Muslims don't become violent.
In response to the New Zealand attack, Hassan is mobilizing an effort to put professionally trained armed security guards in every mosque in America.
My goal is that as of today, people will really take safety and security more seriously. I'm not for mass arming, but we're going to be encouraging the Muslim community to take advantage of the safety and security trainings that we've been offering.
Hassan was able to organize a training session for the congregants of the Islamic Center with Nazar Hamza, a Broward County deputy sheriff who has himself been the target of anti-Muslim rhetoric.
When I saw that video, subhanallah. However, when I give my safety training, the first thing that I open up with when I give my safety training is, what would you do if a shooter walks into this mosque and opens fire? Turn around. What will you do?
Tackle him.
He's been shooting for 10 seconds. On the street, the people that I deal with that prey on the innocent people, they look for weak people. That's the reality. We have rights in this country to protect ourselves. Sah? Sah? If somebody comes in here and opens fire, like they did in New Zealand, if somebody is trying to kill you, in Islam, what do you have a right to do back?
Protect yourself, kill him.
Protect yourself.
Protect yourself, protect others.
Protect others. If you have somebody with a machine gun mowing everybody down, don't talk to me about fighting and defending. You can kill the person. If somebody comes in here to kill all of us, you have a right to kill them.
America has failed to address the problem of gun violence. For the general public to have access to such weapons is definitely not in the long-term interest of this country.
Right.
You know, and I think that's part of the problem. However, so long as dangerous people have access to these weapons, I think you know, people of conscience, people of faith, need to be able to protect themselves as well. As a precaution, for example, I mean, I'm giving my sermon. I told everybody that, listen, I'm going to go to that sermon armed, ready to go. And there's a reason. Generally, when you're armed, you don't want people to know so that you have the advantage. But I want people to know not to be afraid to defend themselves. Assalamu alaikum. I stand before you with nothing prepared of a sermon, for what can we say after witnessing such senseless bloodshed against our brothers and sisters in humanity and in faith? They were the victims of a toxic hatred and Islamophobia that is not new. The killer, the terrorist, he quoted the president in his manifesto to justify his horrific attacks. My brothers and sisters, let us at this time remember who we are. We are here because we love our Creator. And no matter what happens to us on the path of seeking our Creator, we are willing to pay the price. We will not allow this to scare us or intimidate us. Rather, we will react by ensuring that our brothers and sisters have not lost their lives in vain. We will react by holding stronger to our faith and our identity, steadfast, ready to protect ourselves, and with a renewed commitment to share with the world the beauty of our faith. We thank Allah for making us Muslims.